What do you see as the biggest current challenge with respect to improving Manitoba's water? So whether that be Lake Winnipeg or whether that just be water management in general?
One large challenge that we have that faces the lake and actually the general Manitoba watersheds is this big word eutrophication, which I'm sure you're all familiar with now, which is basically a large buildup of nutrients in the lake will cause it to essentially tend towards a swamp and then eventually tend towards a nice large open field. And so phosphorus is the contributor to that. I feel confident saying that.
Way too much phosphorus from multiple sources, so volume of nutrient.
11% of Lake Winnipeg's phosphorus comes from the city of Winnipeg.
Agriculture is big, it's everywhere, it's easy to point the fingers at agriculture as being a huge contributor of phosphorus in the landscape, and they get regulated. Government comes in, regulations when you can spread manure, when you can't spread. Agriculture says, well, what about urban? You know, what about the sewage treatment plants? What about your combined sewer and stormwater drains? You know, it's not just us. I mean, look at all the stuff that the city of Winnipeg is putting in, and the city of Brandon is putting in, and the city of Portage is putting in. You know, make them do things.
So combined sewer overflows, for those maybe unfamiliar, is when it rains heavily, certain parts of in Winnipeg, and Winnipeg's not the only jurisdiction, I believe most cities across Canada, were built in this way that the pipes intentionally overflow. The point being so that our basements don't flood with sewage. So good thing, basements don't flood. Bad thing, diluted sewage goes directly into the river. And every time a heavy rain comes and a CSO happens, I think there's 23 points in Winnipeg.
Yes.
People are outraged, right? Because it's that yuck factor of sewage in the river. If we want to reduce phosphorus loading and reduce nutrient loading, CSO as well, perhaps important, are not where the phosphorus loads are coming from. They're coming from the plants. Is that correct?
Right. Well, there will obviously be some phosphorus load, but it's not a massive. When you're talking bang for your buck, this is not maybe the best bet. But there's a social dimension here, this yuck factor that you're talking about, that's very real.
The government has put in the CD Act that all new conservation districts need to be based on watershed boundaries. That's going to be an issue for Winnipeg because technically Winnipeg is in, I believe, 5 different watersheds. So it would have to be broken up into probably 5 different conservation districts. It's still a philosophy thing. We have lots of municipalities who are more than willing to have their dollars be spent upstream because the work upstream benefits the people downstream. Whereas if the city of Winnipeg was in a district, they kind of are at the bottom. And so all the money that they would be putting in would be going to upstream programs. Winnipeg's not really in a CD because there hasn't been a city council that has wanted to take that step yet.
In terms of some of the challenges facing Lake Winnipeg, and I guess just general water stewardship, Lake Winnipeg maybe, jurisdictional challenges, you reference upstream, downstream. 50% of the nutrient loading in Manitoba is from within our borders. 50% is from outside our borders. And when you deal with the Americans, they will tell you, if 50% of the problems in your backyard fix your 50%, then you can come knocking. And that was a constant challenge for us with the federal government when I worked for them, is having those negotiations with North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. They want to be part of the solution, but at the same time, they just said, you know, you've got some work to do in your own backyard.
The big things for public buy-in are patience and pilots. If you can get some pilot programs, get those guinea pigs out there to try those new and innovative things, and then just demonstrate it and have a little bit of patience. 1 project will become 3 projects, will become 6 projects, will become eventually public opinion. So it's just patience and pilots.